Welcome back to Instables, everyone. Again, going over our intraday swing and long perspective. Again, as we were looking for that bounce here on our 200-day moving average, we did gap up here, and then now we were testing our 50-day moving average, as we mentioned in the Instables room. We did have a pullback as we were rejecting this point. Again, testing resistance. Where exactly are we headed from here? I'm going to go over exactly what we're looking for from here. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And if you are a day trader, if you want to see pre-market news that you want to be watching, if you're looking for data sets that you want to be watching, for example, 30 minutes before market open, the market very much does react to certain data sets and you didn't know that they were coming out, or 30 minutes after market open if you guys are trading out the gate movers, or just looking for those major volatile breakouts on news that we mention every single day in the Instables room, go to instables.com in the description below. And for only $15 a month, you will never miss a breakout alert today. Again, let's jump into this one. So jumping into the daily chart with you guys here, again, looking at our intraday perspective off the bat, looking at our daily candle structure so we know exactly what momentum we're leading into. Again, today we were testing our 50-day moving average, as we mentioned in the Instables, and we had a rejection. Again, after last week's pullback on our PCE report and, again, our PPI report a week and a half before that on our increase in inflation that we have not had for the last few months. So again, we're sitting on anticipation of possible increases in rates that can come. And again, the feds are very much mentioning that it will depend on what exactly our jobs reports come out as. So in my opinion, after this week, as we are bouncing just above our 200-day moving average, if we happen to continue on lower below our prior indecisive candle, again, our doji candle, then we can assume that we would be testing our 390 level. Again, that is our 200-day moving average and also our prior balance that we had before we did have a rejection. We continued on lower. Again, this is a very key point that we did hold prior. So again, that's why we are bouncing at this point in time. Again, if we're going to be shifting from bullish into bearish momentum, our 20-day moving average going into the rest of this week will continue to curl back over, drop below our 50, and then drop down below our 200-day if we're going to continue on lower from there. So again, that is our overall bearish momentum plays. If our 20-day drops below our 50, our 50 drops below our 200, that would be that overall bearish case scenario. So at this point in time, we are testing our 50-day, sitting within consolidation, looking to see if we will retest our 200-day for, again, another possible bounce. Overall, on watch leading into next week's jobs reports. We have non-farm payrolls, we have initial jobless claims, we have initial jobless claims also coming in this Thursday. So again, just keeping an eye on our candle structure here, again, as we're testing resistance, getting a rejection, closing lower here again on our red candle here, opening higher, closing lower here after a gap up that we had from our pullback. That is our intraday momentum. Now looking at our weekly chart again, looking at our swing perspective, we have been watching out for our 20 weekly moving average to cross above our 50 weekly moving average. We have not closed here. This can still cross back lower, but if we do close this week with our 20 weekly moving average above our 50 weekly moving average, then we can assume that we have a possible continuation here. So that's why we're still on watch how exactly we close. If we close this, again, candle this week within our prior week's body, then we can possibly look for that possible bullish case scenario that would give us that possible momentum if we do, again, close within our prior week's body candle. So again, that's what we're looking for if we're going to continue here. That's why we're watching out for a continuation. Again, we have not had our 20 weekly moving average cross above our 50 weekly moving average for quite a while here. Again, since our sell-off about a year ago, we have been continuing on lower. So we finally are crossing higher here, looking for that possible bullish candle structure here on our weekly chart. Again, we mentioned that we would possibly pull back, assume that we would retest our 20 weekly moving average since we were going to possibly continue on higher above it last week. And now we are crossing above it, having that retest. And as we are retesting, we have been keeping an eye on our monthly chart, which is our long perspective. We had a solid green bar here, again, not closing this month's candle still. Again, mentioning that we did have that possible intraday or swing momentum on that pullback as we were testing our 200 monthly moving average. If we're going to continue on long term, if we're going to continue on with this momentum, we will close above our 20 monthly moving average. This is what needs to happen for us to possibly continue on higher. So again, keep that in mind. Overall, if we are going to continue on higher, now one key indicator that we have been keeping an eye on is our MACD on our monthly chart. If our 12 does not cross back above our 26, then we are not going to have that long-term outlook until that does happen. Again, since we did cross lower here, we have been selling off. Again, on our weekly chart, we look like we possibly can continue, but overall, keeping an eye on this overall momentum until our 12 does start to curl back above our 26, then we cannot assume that we will continue on higher long term. But again, on our weekly chart, very much assuming that we can possibly have more bounces to come since we have our 20 weekly moving average crossing above our 50 weekly moving average. Maybe we have a possible bounce here and we have possible more consolidation to come. We will see exactly what happens going into tomorrow if we do, again, open or close above our 50-day moving average, or if we do possibly continue on lower below our prior day's balance to possibly test our 290 level. We'll see exactly what happens. Now, again, with that said, if you are a day trader, if you're looking for pre-market news, unusual pre-market news that you may not be watching before market open, any data sets that you want to make sure that you're staying updated on, go to instabulls.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. And again, all of you Instabulls, crazy breakouts this morning, mostly within pre-market, going into open. Pretty choppy out the gate. We did have a spike and then a pullback after our gap up pre-market. So again, most runners were in pre-market since we did open within this gap up. Again, just taking with the market here, this is what we'll continue to do. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in pre-market.